Hey everyone, I'm Sarah Barber, welcome in. Today I'm in the beautiful Polish woods. I'm in West Poland in a town called Zielona Góra, and I'm going to bring you a bit of gentle yoga with a focus on back and hip care. So all you need is a mat and we're going to begin lying down. So let's go there now on our backs, finding a comfortable position on your back. And depending on how the hips and the back feel when you're on the mat, you might have your feet as wide as your mat, like I have now. Maybe even with the knees knocked together. This is called constructive rest pose. Or it may be more comfortable for you to have your legs along the mat. So really whichever one feels best in your body. And to begin with, we'll just spend a few moments grounding, finding our center before we do some laying exercises on the floor. So you might choose to either have your eyes softly closed or take a soft gaze up towards the sky. And just become aware in your mind's eye of where you are. You're inside the space that you're in, and then the mat that you're on, and the body that you're in. Bringing your awareness to the meeting points between your body and the ground. So starting with the back of the head, so simply noticing, no need to move anything. The shoulder blades, the lower back or back of the pelvis, your feet or heels, and your elbows. With each subsequent exhale, imagine that you are sinking a little more into the ground. You're allowing the ground to hold you a little more each time. As you bring awareness now to your breath, simply tracking the breath. Perhaps there's some feedback here on where you're at today, physically, emotionally, mentally. And as you track the breath up and down the spine, we might lay over this a healing light meditation where each time you inhale, you imagine that you're drawing bright white light in through the top of the head, over the face, through the neck and chest, into the body. And then each time on the exhale, you visualize that bright white light leaving the midline and coming out through the arms and the legs. So simple, gentle breath here, layering over that healing light visualization, if that feels good to you. So on the inhale, breathing in through the crown, all the way into the body, that healing white light. On the exhale, it radiates from your midline through the extremities and out. So a few more breaths here. This meditation has been shown to ease pain in the body, discomfort in the body. So taking maybe 3 or 4 more full breaths. And then on your next exhale, Simply let that breath practice go, let the meditation go. And watch the natural, regular breath come back in its place. Perhaps here connecting whether you can find a sense of infinite stillness within. Always available for you to access whenever you need it. And then from here, you might choose to open your eyes now. And if your feet aren't already as wide as the mat, bring them there now. I'm going to start with some windscreen wipers. So on your next inhale, stay here. You might choose to have your arms in a cactus shape. And on the exhale, allow both knees to come over to the left. Inhaling as they come back through the center. And exhaling over to the right side. So each time you come through the center, you're inhaling. Each time you're dropping down to the side, it's an exhale. Now in this gentle yoga class with the focus on back and hip care, we're using our discernment and we're choosing our pace and our range of motion. So finding something that suits your body, that's in service to how your body's feeling today. So I don't mind where you go with this. Just choose whatever feels right today for you. So a couple more here. Breathing into the front, into the hip flexors, to the side body. And the next time the knees come up to the center, bring the feet together, knees together. Inhale here. And then exhaling, same thing, but the legs are together. So you're going to feel more into the side body here, to the opposite side of the body, to the direction that the knees are going. And once again, you choose your range of motion here. We're looking for a pain-free range of motion in your body. So take 2 more each side. And then when you're done with this, we're going to bring the feet to hip width with a bend in the knees. And we're going to do some rock and rolls through the pelvis. So on your inhale, you're going to slide the hip bones, tilt them forward. So in the small of the back, you might even place your fingers under the back. You can feel a gap. And on the exhale, we're going to tilt the tailbone under and flatten the lower back into the mat. So if you're testing this out with your fingers, there's no gap now. Inhaling, tilting the first way, creating that little gap under the lower spine, and then exhale. So what we're doing here is we're undulating and creating lubrication through the lower spine, particularly the pelvis. So you'll probably feel this. This is not a movement that we often do in day-to-day life, and it can feel really, really good to start to create some movement lubrication here. So a couple more here. And then coming back into central line. Drawing the knees in. And you choose here whether you want to take the knees either side to massage across the back of the pelvis and the lower spine, or maybe you draw the knees wide, holding onto them with the hands and circling through the hips. So choosing something here that feels good and right in this moment. And then we're going to float the hands and the feet up towards the sky and take some rotations through the wrists and the ankles. Welcoming in pops and cracks here, back the other way. And then drawing the knees in, taking them over to one side, it doesn't matter which side. And then using that top hand to push yourself up. We're coming into an all fours position now. So having your hands directly under your shoulders, knees directly under your hips. And we're going to do a few exercises here to strengthen the core. So it's starting by taking the left fingers forward onto the mat and straightening your right foot back. So we'll start with the hands and the feet on the ground, and then on your next inhale you might choose to stay there or lift. On the exhale you might choose to come down or pause for one full breath and come down on the next exhale. Opposite side, right fingers, left toes to the ground. Use your core here, reach back. It's as if someone's pulling your right hand away from the left toes as you lift. Engage your pelvic floor. Stay here for one full breath or come down on the exhale. So we'll do the same thing again. Inhale as you extend left fingers, right toes. Exhale to lift. Inhale here and exhale to lower. Again, inhale right fingers, left toes. Exhale lower. High up, I mean. Inhale to pause and exhale, hands to the mat. So you can stay with this, or depending on how your back and your core feels, you might extend straight out. But either way, if you can, we're going to pause for a breath and then exhale, come back to the mat. So choose your level here. Inhale, right fingers, left toes. Exhale. Inhale for one breath and exhale to come down. So one last variation here. Inhale as we reach left away from right, and either stay here or you might bring your left elbow and crunch in with your right knee, elbow to knee. Inhale as you reach, if you're choosing this option. Exhale to come down. Inhale as you reach away, right fingers, left foot. Either stay here or draw the left knee in, right elbow finds that knee. Exhale to reach out. Inhale to pause. Exhale to come down. One more here. Inhale to reach. Exhale, stay here or draw left elbow towards right knee. If you did, inhale, stretch forward and exhale to come down. Last one. Inhale, right fingers, left foot. Exhale, stay here or draw in elbow to knee. Inhale to reach out and exhale to come down. Very good, well done. Okay, drawing the knees wide now, dropping down into child's pose. Now child's pose for you might be resting the chin in the hands, or you can come down into forehead to the ground or a block. So staying here in your child's pose, allow the hips to be heavy and taking some breaths. Following the breath, tracking it up and down the spine. If your forehead is resting on something, let it be heavy. And now come back onto your all fours. Last part of the series today. So just check in that your knees are back to hip width, that you brought them back in under the hips. Taking the right foot back, extend out through the right heel, the toes are tucked under. Now sometimes when we take our leg back, we end up lifting the hip like this. So just check with yourself that you're drawing that right quad back in. You've got an inner rotation to bring the pelvis level. Inhale to lift the foot up, roughly as high as your hip. Exhale, knee to nose. So push through the hands as you dome the spine up. And on the exhale, bring that right foot forward. You might help it with the right hand. Now stay here, or if you know when you come up in these little lunges that you might like a little bit more stability, take your right foot a little further out to the right first. Just check in that your weight is even through the four corners of the feet, and then draw a little prayer shape up towards the sky. Now, if you don't want to draw the hands up, you could also rest them on the right leg. So pausing here, see how this feels. If you don't want to raise up and pause, and you'd rather bring both hands to the ground, you could also do a little kind of hip work here, where you do some little circles, or you rock backwards and forwards. So there's quite a lot of flexibility here in terms of what you do. You can make this a little bit your own. And then what we're going to do, if we've got our hands high, or if not, bring them to the top leg, we're now going to open the arms to that front leg. So here it's like we're kind of twisting out to the front leg, out to the right. Glance down at your right knee and see how it's directly above the right ankle still. Sometimes what happens here is the knee comes in. If that is happening with you, open the quad, which will bring the knee back, and draw down through the foot. If you want to take this one step further, you're very welcome to stay here in the twist. You can also rest the hands on the leg if it's more comfortable. Or if you want to take this one step further, bring your right hand to rest on the back of the leg and reverse this low lunge, looking up to the hand. Taking a few breaths here. So you'll need to engage through your core and your pelvic floor muscle here. Next, inhale, windmill your hands back down to the inside of that right foot if you took the right foot out, and then bring the knee back. So you might like to take a child's pose here in between sides, or another variation of child's pose is to have the knees together, arms either side of the legs, and draw the forehead or the crown to the ground or onto a block. So once again, taking some breaths here, just allowing everything to settle before we move on to the next side. Two more breaths. Okay, let's find all fours on the other side. So starting once again, knees under hips, hands under shoulders. Inhale, left leg straightens, left toes tuck under, draw back through the heel. So exhale's your pause, and then inhale, you lift that left foot as high as the hips. You're leading with the heel here. Exhale, knee to nose, dome your spine up to bring the left foot to the top of the mat. Once again, you might help it with the left hand. Plant the foot down wherever you wish, and then inhale to reach. So once again, you can pause here. You could bring the hands down onto the left leg. If you want a little more through the right hip flexor, you can always bring that right knee back a bit as well. So this part of our low lunge or our dragon is for you to take a few moments to explore. Where would you like to go with this? So you can be anywhere. You can be doing the circles or the rocks. You can pause in a high, with the arms high in this low lunge. So taking some breaths and a few moments to explore into the hips here. Couple more breaths here. And then wherever you are, if your hands aren't already either on the left leg or reaching high, take them there now. On your next inhale, let's open out to the left this time, to the front leg again. So once again, here we want to draw through the four corners of the front foot, open out the knee so it's in line with its heel. If you want to challenge your balance even more, you might glance out to the left fingers. Almost there. Breathing, still breathing here. Anytime you're losing your breath, that's a sign to back off. So the last part of the sequence, you can either stay exactly where you are or reverse the low lunge. Left hand finds back of the leg, reaching up and out through the right arm as you look up to it. One more breath. Inhale, windmilling those arms. Taking the left knee back, finding your belly this time. Lowering down. Bringing a cheek to the ground. And allowing the legs to float up. So there's a bend in the legs, and taking a reverse windscreen wiper now. Inhaling each time as the feet come across. Exhaling as they come down. Inhale and exhale. And bring the legs along the mat. And you might choose to stay here for a little relaxation, or if you're more comfortable on your back, your side, or even seated, I encourage you to take a minute or two in stillness to allow the benefits of the practice to integrate. And thank you for being here with me today. Namaste.